Good afternoon, everybody. How is everyone doing? Let me fix this up here. Hold on. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I decided to come on this afternoon to basically go back to square one. First, I want to remind you guys that this coming Monday, April 19th, we will have a banner flying in the Brooklyn/Manhattan area. I want you guys to spread the word. Need you guys to contact your local news station, radio station, newspaper outlet. Need you guys to contact them as soon as possible because we need the awareness. We need to get the word out. The banner basically stating that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly was set up. Okay. This afternoon, you guys gotta work with me for a minute. Can you guys hear me well? This afternoon, I am going to literally go step by step in why I believe and know for a fact, based on key players, how Mr. Kelly have been set up, how everyone is connected. We're gonna discuss that today. This is based from researching, observing, and also interviews, personal interviews that I've had with one particular individual, as well as comparing different interviews that that other people have had. I'm going to share some of those information with you guys. There are a lot of people who have been following the narrative that the national media have been accusing Robert of. There was a jacket placed on Robert, a jacket of being with underage girls, which is totally false. When I say totally false, they're making it seem as if he has been a predator of and going after women. I mean, girls. That's what the narrative that's being put out. I'm sorry, I've got to clean my glasses. I'm going to show you concrete evidence of where this particular narrative has, where it first began and who first initiated, what motive that the particular person have, and key players. Okay, I need you guys to take notes. Okay, and you know the main motive behind a lot of things is money, right? You know, money is the driver of a lot of people, and then the love of money causes people to do some crazy, crazy things, right? And that's what we're gonna discuss this morning. I'm gonna, I like to keep my time really short so you guys go back and look at these videos. I need you guys to share this video because this video is going to provide some key information that to help you to talk to your family members, talk to your friends, talk to people who really are not aware, who are sitting around just taking what the news, the national media says about Robert as gospel, right? As gospel. But I'm going to show you concrete evidence, motives, people, one particular person who started the whole driver. And I'm going to show you how this one particular individual is the mastermind, as well as other people connected with this person, is the mastermind in this whole narrative. This whole narrative. Hey, sis, let me say, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Excuse my manners. Let me say hi to the people in the chat. I apologize. Hey, Randa, baby. Hey, Nakia. Hey, woman of God. Elizabeth. Merry Go Round. Liddy Lit. Leisha. Tate. Bora Bora. Dufras for Kelly. Rhoda. Okay, that's it. And Shay. Okay, I can't say hi to everybody because, people are going to look at this and I don't want to waste time. I want to get to the nitty gritty. Okay, all right. So, there are key players. Okay, one individual that is the main driver behind all of this jacket that was placed on Robert. Okay, that individual goes by the name of Demetrius Smith. Okay. Demetrius Smith, per his book, per the things that he has mentioned in other interviews, met Robert at a tender age of either 16, 17. We can't get him to give you the right, correct date of when he actually met Robert, but he met Robert at a tender young age. He latched himself onto Robert because Robert had a talent that he desired to have. Okay. He met him in around 1984, 1985, which make Robert between 17 and 18, right? And when he met Robert in a setting where Robert was performing at a school. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background of Demetrius based on his book. I'm not asking you to go out and buy his book because I think he's a piece of shit. Excuse my language, but a piece of crap. Okay. He wrote a book while he was in jail. Okay. I'm going to go and play some interviews that he has had, the inconsistencies that this man has had. Okay. The role he has had and how each one is connected. Okay. I wrote down some notes right here and I'm going to talk about a couple of things before I start playing the video because I need to put the voice videos, audios along with what I am saying because I want to be as elementary as possible. So you guys could use this as information driver for what you need to explain to your family members, those who have decided to go against Robert because they have been mind manipulated by the national news, by media, social media, and things like that. Okay. Number one, he met Robert in the year of 1984, 85, according to his book. We don't know which date it is, but Robert was around the age of 16, 17 years old when he met him. According to his book and according to conversation I've had with Demetrius, he met Robert in the month of December. And you guys know Robert's birthday is in January. So he was about 16 turning to 17 if he met him in 1983, 84, right? So he met Robert, and Demetrius, prior to meeting Robert, he worked for a guy who used to do pornography. The guy, he was the video guy for a man who used to do pornography. And this man had an agency where the agency used to have young models, meaning teenage models. Get me? Listen to this. Teenage model. And in the back office, Demetrius talked about how he caught the manager, the guy that was recruiting the teenage models. He was having sex with the girls. Listen to this, right? the particular guy was having sex with the girls. Okay. Demetrius was recording a lot of this stuff. He was the camera person, according to his book. Okay. He used to distribute, copy, make, record, and all that. Hear me now. Demetrius. He was the one who was copying, recording, and he worked in a sleazy porn type of company. Company ended up being shut down. Demetrius now has to find another gig. He decides he start recording people, and he went to this talent show, which Robert was the talent, and he decided to record that Robert and show Robert, that, oh, look at you great, you're gonna be whatever it was. Okay, so that's how supposedly he met him. He latched on to Robert because he said in his own book, he said that Robert had something that he needed. Robert had a talent. He could he could see something, and he could write a song of whatever it is happening. Robert wrote songs that was about life, right? And there were songs that he wanted that Robert has, and that he felt that Robert was going to blow up one day. This is his own word. Conversation I've had with him personally, and conversation that he has had with other people who has interviewed him. Okay. I'm just giving you a synopsis of what is being said, and then I'm going to play the recordings for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. And also, this is also coming from his book. All right. I talked about his previous job before he actually met Robert. He was working with a guy who was a sleazy porn / modern company for teenagers. Okay. He latched himself onto Robert. Now, according to him, his book, he had a brother-in-law by the name of Craig Hodges, who was a basketball player, and he basically asked him to basically back Robert. But according to him, Robert and his sister got into a relationship. His sister was in her 20s. Robert was, he claims Robert was underage, but when I spoke with his sister, I spoke to his sister myself, and she said Robert was 18 when she and Robert started having a relationship, right? She was about 26, 27, something like that. And long story short, she was backing Robert up. In fact, she's the one who bought his first keyboard that he had, right? So she's sponsoring Robert and was paying for a lot of the studio time for Robert when he was making music and things like that. You remember Robert was still in a train station doing his things in the day, and she would help him go to the studio, buy studio time for him and things like that. So now Demetrius got upset with his sister because he was no longer the person that was molding and grooming Robert, right? Because now his sister's in that position, and now he felt jealous. He felt that, his sister's taking over what he wanted to do with Robert. Okay. Throughout his interviews, he talked about Robert's intellectual capacity and things like that. So to me, I felt, this is Sylvia speaking, I felt that Demetrius was basically manipulating, controlling Robert. Okay. All Robert wanted to do is play his music. All he desired was just to write music. So now what I'm going to do now, right? I have interviews that I have with Demetrius myself, and I'm going to play those recordings. This is during the time when I first heard about Demetrius' book, and he reached out to me on Facebook and told me about his book, and I ended up went and purchased it. So in the interim of me purchasing the book, he contacted me. He told me that he could, if I need to have any questions about the book, he can walk me through it and stuff like that. So during our phone conversation, he started liking me, and me being a woman, I used it to my advantage because I was in the support group trying to support Robert, and then I found an opportunity to gather some information and trying to figure out what crap this guy was doing. So I began to record, and with his knowledge now, because he told me he was going to tell me about the book, and I had told him that I was going to record some of the conversation, which I didn't tell him about all the conversation, but some of them I told him some. But I end up recording every time I talk to him. Right? I'm in a one-party state, meaning that as long as I'm part of the conversation, I can record. So I had to throw that out, government, just in case you would try to come after me about the recording. I'm in a one-party state. Okay. So in our phone conversation, I'm going to play some of those phone recordings for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and exactly why I believe that this man, because of his vendetta that he had for Robert, his jealousy he has for Robert, and what he wanted from Robert, he is the master of all of this, along with Barry Hankerson and all the others. But I put him first because he's the one who actually met Robert first. Barry met him afterward, and then Daryl McDavid came, and then the three of them was like three peas in a hole. Demetrius, Barry, and Daryl McDavid. Okay. Daryl McDavid, basically, he controlled the money because he was the accountant. Barry was the mastermind of, he was the manager who was do the contracts and things like that. Okay. And then you have Demetrius. Demetrius was the sleaze, the crook, the thief, the everything of the above. Okay. Then you also have another little player called Jim Derogatis. Jim Derogatis was a reporter who made his livelihood of reporting Robert Sylvester Kelly. From my understanding, he was looking for something also. He was looking for a position and some promises that was made and never came through. So he had some vendetta against Robert too. We have all these people who have this thing because they see Robert, this golden goose. This is what Avenatti talked about, the golden goose. They see this money-making individual who they try to monopolize on Robert's talent, and they was the one pocketing the funds and things like that. He was in a den of thieves. Okay, I'm going to give you all the different players. Okay, Demetrius, he hired the security. Okay, the security, which included one of the security person was Kip. You remember he hired him too. I'm going to play Demetrius's recordings for you guys so you guys can get, and I'm going to probably stop and talk in between it so you guys can get a feel of what I am bringing about to you. Okay. All right, here we go. The first one was when I I didn't just start talking to him. I just started gathering information. Okay. This is not the first one, but this is just one of the four that I'm going to play for you guys. Okay. Now I need you guys to listen carefully. And here we go. This is my recording of my interview talking to Demetrius. And some things that you hear me saying is stuff because I'm trying to bring stuff out of this dude. I'm trying to get some information. So please excuse if you hear something it doesn't sound too right. Like I might say, oh, Robert was probably acting stupid or something like that. Just bear with me, okay? I was trying to be an interviewer, so just bear with me. I had to put my disclaimer, okay? All right, here we go. Tell me if you guys can hear it. This is me calling him back.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Hey, it's Sylvia. How are you? Sorry. What's going on with me? Nothing. I don't know why. I guess we got disconnected earlier.
No, I hung up on you. I'm just kidding.
You hung up on me. That's not nice.
I'm just kidding.
That's so evil of you. That's not nice. You want to get jacked up? I do fight, you know.
I don't.
Well, you just gonna get beat up then.
Yeah, I like that.
No, that's not that. Look, that's not you. You did fight in your book.
I used to fight. I used to be rough.
Yeah, you sure did used to be rough.
I fought for cause.
What was the cause?
Whatever was wrong.
Oh.
Whatever was wrong. What might be me.
We got.
Bothered me, it was trouble.
We got cut off earlier, and I was like, I was driving. It was like in the boondocks.
That's where I was at. I was in Thousand Oaks.
Where?
Thousand Oaks.
Where's that at?
That's north of LA.
Oh.
Rich folks stay out there.
So you're a rich folk?
No, I was picking them up.
Oh, so you're not rich?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Demetrius, tell me something. Out of all that money that you had opportunity to be near, what happened? Why you didn't get any? Huh?
They wouldn't pay me. I mean, when it got ready to get paid, he married Aaliyah. I've been with Robert for like 5 years before he made it. We was pushing to make it. And I was working, doing what I do to make my ends meet. Then we started going on the road. And things were new. Things were developing. And just when it was time to get paid, he went and did the dumb shit and married Aaliyah.
Yeah, but he didn't stay. But he didn't stay married to her too long.
Yeah, but I didn't like him when he did that. He broke up everything. We had built, when he married Aaliyah, we had me, him, and Barry and Daryl. We were struggling. They were all struggling for power. Barry wanted to control Robert. Daryl wanted to control Barry and Robert and the money. Me, I wanted to make sure Robert was well, and I wanted to get paid. And we was bonding. But when Robert did that, he betrayed everybody.
Yeah, but
he betrayed Barry, he betrayed Aaliyah and the family. And,
but you know what? Here's the deal. But look, I was reading your book now. Okay, we're gonna go by what you said in the book. Okay, in the book you said that McDavid, I don't know what his name is. McDavid, what's his name? Daryl McDavid, right? You said that he said something about a lawyer. What lawyer would tell you to have somebody marry somebody that was that young?
He had lawyers. Daryl had lawyers.
Unless it was a crook.
He told Robert He told Robert that he had a lawyer that was going to, that if Robert didn't marry Aaliyah, they was going to lock him up.
Yeah, but
if he was married, they couldn't lock him up. That's what they told him. I didn't know nothing about it.
But that doesn't make sense because what lawyer would? Okay, Aaliyah wasn't even old enough, right?
Right.
In your book, you said that somebody that worked at the state thing, they got a fake ID. You paid them $500.
Mm-hmm.
So that person get in trouble. That person gonna get in trouble. Because I'm going by your book now. You're like my little.
Don't know who that person is.
Huh?
Don't nobody know who that person is. And ain't nobody gonna know who that person is.
Oh, okay. But you went and got the person.
Right. I know who the person is.
So, but you do it. Okay, why you do all that crooked stuff?
Well, it was a moment of. It was like a moment your kid got in trouble.
Yeah, but he ain't your kid.
My loyalty is that close. That's how I am.
But
I wasn't doing it I didn't do it to get him I didn't think they would go through with it. They were going to do it anyway.
Okay, so
I'll take them down there, man. I'll take them down there, man. I said, this shit ain't right, man. So I took them, thinking that I can persuade Robert. And when we got there, they went inside, got the ID, left, went back, and they told me to take us somewhere else. And then Robert and them, I told them somewhere with some UPS plate people, FedEx somewhere. And somebody at FedEx gave her ID, say that she worked there. And those two IDs were enough to get her a marriage license. And then they had a preacher and everybody.
But according to that thing,
get done without me.
They did it without you.
They were going to get it done without me. Period.
So why?
They were going to get that done because I was with Robert. I was trying to talk Robert out of it.
So okay, what you're saying don't make sense to me. It don't make sense because
none of it makes sense. None of it made sense. So you can't make sense out of something that didn't make sense. It was crazy. It was a dumb thing to do. It's nothing that I'm proud of. And it's just something that just happened at a moment. And I didn't think it would go there. I wanted to call Barry, but I didn't know how to.
So you trying to say Barry didn't know nothing about it? That seems unreasonable. That don't even seem right.
Nothing about it. They didn't know nothing about it. That was his niece. Barry wouldn't have went for that. They did it behind his back. Her parents didn't even know it. Aaliyah ran away from home for that night just because Robert did it.
Why she ran away from home?
And we didn't know that was happening.
Yes, you did. You said in your book you had an idea that something was going on with them too.
We didn't know. Idea is not knowing. I mean, here it is like right now. Just like the other day, I took my friend came up here from Chicago, right?
Uh-huh.
My kid friend, this is like my buddies, my best friend's sister came up to LA, her and her daughter and her husband, right? Mm-hmm. It's like Aaliyah and them coming up here. Now, they came, they went and got a hotel room. I went and got them, took them to Hollywood. Their little daughter crazy about me, right?
You ain't messing with the little girl, are you?
I don't feel like, I don't mess with kids.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
Not knowing. And so, but here we are hanging out together, having fun. All right. Mm-hmm. My buddy with me, and he look at me holding the little girl hand, and I'm like, he'll look like, hold on, man, you ain't hell no. You see, and it's simple as that. That's the end of it. Now, when the night goes, I'm at my place. Everybody's wherever they're supposed to be, but here I am. I'm sneaking up there at night, going to the little girl's hotel room because she got her own room. But don't nobody know this. That's Robert, a sneak, a straight up sneak. And we didn't know this. We were at Aaliyah's house. We didn't know this. We just didn't know it. It was something new to me. I didn't know what the hell a pedophile was.
So you trying to say he's a pedophile?
Well, Robert messes with people that's not. Robert is totally illiterate. He cannot have the conversation like we're having.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he got a mindset of that type of young person, because you said that he was autistic, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to understand because I remember I told
Robert should know better.
But wait. But remember, I told you I do work with kids that has disability, right? They are autistic, right. And right. I have a young man. He's about 19 years old, and he's very he's smart in one area, but he's not smart in other area. You understand what I'm saying? Like he knows like he knows about planes, right? But when you try to do right, he can't talk, but he can show you different type of plane on video. And music, he's always like listening to a beat. He's just constantly, his head just constantly moving. But
now let that boy become successful and let people become his yes men. He's gonna grow into his ugliness. That's what Robert did. Robert grew into being ugly.
Yeah, but that's your fault. But it's your fault and the other people's fault because he doesn't know any better.
I agree with you. It's not y'all. It wasn't none of my fault. I'm not at fault with this.
Well, how you not at fault? When you met him first. You met him first.
Yeah, and I tried to stop everybody from being a yes man to this boy. And everybody pushed me the hell out the way because they wanted to be yes, and I was saying no, and I was in everybody's way. I was in everybody's way with Robert. So they all got me to push me the fuck out. So therefore, Daryl McDavid, I used to go to his office all the time fighting with this man about Robert. I couldn't go to Barry because Barry didn't know Barry. Well, Barry was a psychologist his damn self.
Yeah, but I heard not so good things about Barry.
You know, Barry is a businessman. That's what Barry is. And Barry wasn't nobody you mess with. And Barry was manipulative. But Robert betrayed Barry.
How?
Robert betrayed everybody.
How?
He messed with his niece. That's betrayal.
But who?
That's
What?
his niece.
But
That's
you
his
okay,
niece.
y'all?
Leah was a little girl. You know, that was surprising that he did that to Aaliyah. I mean, Aaliyah was little. I mean, Aaliyah's breast was as big as a cupcake. So how the hell could you even mess with somebody like that unless you're sick? You see?
But you cannot call. Listen, but you cannot call. I cannot call that boy Ty, the one I take care of. I cannot call him sick when I know he's autistic. You can't. That's a disability. And then anybody take advantage of him.
I'm telling you, that's a disability, but I don't know the correct word. He's got a disability, but they got him in prison now. Robert might not see daylight again if he don't get examined as sick. But if you don't plead some kind of mental thing, Robert going to prison. He ain't getting out.
But to me, it seems like a whole bunch of you guys kind of like let him down.
Well, see, you keep saying you guys. The FBI ain't gonna do nothing to me. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me.
I'm not talking about the FBI. I'm just talking about, you know, you are a man of God. I'm telling you that. We talking about God is higher than any kind of federal or whatever.
Right, he is.
Okay.
Because it ain't over till you say so.
Exactly.
But
if he puts
I was in Robert's corner, man, in respect to him doing the right thing. My other buddy, we got another close buddy that Robert will call right now. When every push comes to shove, that's who Robert going to call. And he's going to end up running everything for Robert because he's got to come back home. And when he come back home, he's going to go to his first buddy. And after that, his first buddy calls me. And we've been trying to get Robert right for ever since, even when I wasn't with him. I know everything Robert does. I know everybody with him. I know everybody that is an enabler. I used to fight with all of them. I used to fight him. I used to literally throw punches with him. And then till he got ready to rob me, man, you can't be doing that. I said, Rob, man, you can't be doing this. Then he don't want me around him. Then he started hiding things from me. You see? And then he married Aaliyah. When he did that, we didn't get first. It was Tiffany Hawkins. You read Tiffany, right?
You put down Tia, so I did not know if it's Tiffany.
Okay. Tiffany Hawkins and Tia Hawkins is the same person. According to Demetrius' book, she was his artist. She's the one who supposedly the person that he bought as an artist. Supposedly. That's what he said in his book.
You had down Tia. You put Tia, and I saw somebody named was Sean.
Tia was first. I turned Tia over to the authorities, and they settled with that instead of getting Robert help. And then right after that,
wait a minute, you said you went to authorities? You went to the police?
I went to this lady here. Ian was a private investigator.
Who?
I said, Ian, what man? I said, Robert, I ain't messing with her here, man. I mean, I think Robert messed with this girl. She wanted to do something to her. So I said, bring her down here, man. Take her to this person here.
You heard that. Didn't take it to authority, but took it to a lawyer. Really? Okay. All right. So, sure. Okay.
Take care of Robert Kelly. We're going to put him under some rap. And they just took him down there. Next thing you know, I wasn't involved in it no more. Tia stopped calling me. All of them settled. After that, me and Robert didn't get along no more.
Because you felt
I was still with him when he did Aaliyah.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused because I'm trying to follow your book. I'm trying to follow your book.
Robert is an artistic person that grew up and people followed him, like the Pied Piper. They followed his music, not the man. They did not look at everybody saw Robert outside after shows entertaining young girls. Everybody that came to a concert that went backstage.
But here's the deal. He never goes to knocking on these people's doors. So somebody's bringing it to him.
Well, the girls come to the concerts and then he get their numbers and then it's over.
So how did?
His buddies.
Okay, because that's what I'm saying. How do you?
They would go get them. They would go to the malls and they would pass out notes, and those notes would get them to the hotels or to the concerts. And after that, I'm busy. I don't hang out with Robert. I didn't hang out with him.
But you knew this was going on, so why you didn't stop it?
I did not know this was going on. I did not know. I'm telling you, this was early. I was in the beginning with Robert. Robert got his deal in 1990. I left Robert in 1990, end of 94.
94, okay.
Right when that's when it all started. 94.
Okay, so
90, at the end of 93. I mean, in 94 is when he married Aaliyah. 94 is when he messed with Tiffany. 94 is when I left. Because he wasn't listening to me no more.
Y'all heard that, right? 94. All of this supposedly happened. He's involved in everything. He's the one who brought Tiffany to the attorneys. He's the one who took the marriage certificate. You should hear it in I think if it's not this recording, it might be another recording where he's the one who said he took the marriage certificate, sent it off to Barry, and then the next minute it was all over the news, supposedly. Okay, he supposedly is the person that went. He's the one who took Aaliyah and Robert to this place to get these IDs for Aaliyah. Now he is the one behind everything. The book that he wrote is the floor plan of why the government took Robert. They went by what he put in that book as the whole. I would say, I say a floor plan because that was the foundation of all of this. His book. Monetary gain, like Dom just put, monetary gain. It's all been about money. And I'm getting ready to play something in between. I have something here that I want to play. This came from Nick at Night. This is her interview with him, and mine is not finished yet. I'm gonna go back and forth with the two, and so you can hear the difference of his conversation. Okay, just bear with me a second. Okay, here we go. This is an interview he had with Nick at Night. Okay, hold on.
This is my fault. I live with it every day. And I apologize, and I prayed on it, and it's something that is rocked my world in that way. I'm sorry, and I just what else can I do? It's done. I did not. I was younger myself. And I was numb. I was numb when it first happened. I was numb. And I didn't think Robert worked you like a dog when you were out there working with him. And I was his tour manager and personal assistant. I didn't get rest. Mm-hmm. So I was working. I probably had been up for 3-4 days when he told me, when I was walking him to the stage, and he told me what he told me. He said, man, we got to get back to Chicago. And I wanted to call Aaliyah's uncle. I wanted to call Barry, and that's what I should have did. But I had been with Robert for 7 years, and I had just met Barry and Aaliyah. And so I wanted to hear what he had to say before I made a call. And then when
so
we
your
got
loyalty basically was with R. Kelly at that time?
Yes, yes. And then not to take sides, because wrong was wrong. You know, that was the wrong thing. That was the wrong decision I made. I should have called Barry. You know,
you heard him. That was the wrong decision I made. I took them. I am sorry. That is something I did wrong. So why is Robert in jail if he's the one who did this? Why? He is the one supposedly groomed Robert. Why is Robert the one in jail if it's not about money, y'all? Hold on.
I mean, I knew Aaliyah's mama and daddy, and I knew Jomo, but I should have called Barry because who was at the head of the.
Okay, he mentioned Jomo. He knew Jomo. You know who Jomo is? Jomo is Barry Hankerson's son. He did. If you notice, he did not mention Aaliyah's brother, but he mentioned Jomo. Why is he mentioning Barry Hankerson's son instead of Aaliyah's brother? Isn't that kind of strange to you guys?
Where we were at, and
because if you guys, there's a recording, I'm going to play that too, where Jomo, Barry Hankinson's son, said that it was a publicity stunt because they were trying to bring Aaliyah out because she was a new artist and they wanted her to be get to know him. So they put out this publicity stunt for I'm going to bring that up. Hold on. Okay, here it is. I'm going to play it for...
It's making all of the rounds is this whole relationship with R. Kelly. And you said it off air that, you know, you managed R. Kelly with your company for how many years?
14.
For 14 years. Mm-hmm. And they, I mean, obviously Lifetime is using this to help pre-promote this movie.
Yeah.
How do you explain all of this controversy? Because you said when Aaliyah was on top of the world and then this happened, did they get married?
Well, I'll let that come out in the movie. It won't be in this movie, but it'll come out eventually one day.
14 years. Wow. 14 years. And you've never done this.
Uh-huh.
I remember talking about it on the radio.
You know what it is, Ryan? It is not my place or the forum for me to really get into that.
Okay.
So that's why I just beg off that.
Why was it such a big deal, you think, for the public? Because even nowadays, it's still controversial.
Yeah.
We think about that. That's like one of the things we think about when we think of her.
Yeah, absolutely. It was at the time, she was huge, he was huge.
Right.
You had Biggie,
business,
and Faith were together.
Right.
It was a lot of things going on like that in the business at that time. So I think it was just
you hear him what he just said. You had Biggie and Faith, things like that going on. So just listen closely, like you guys, to what Jomo is saying. Jomo is Barry Hankinson's son, who managed Robert and who was the person who did an interview before. He talked about the whole marriage thing was a publicity thing. He was there at that whole ceremony too, according to what Demetrius is saying, that Jomo was there. Jomo. Remember he said the name. Hold on.
Indicative of the times.
The chemistry too.
Yeah, absolutely. When you hear that first album, it was obviously a lot of creative chemistry on that record. So,
I mean, but you know, when people go back and they start,
what was surprising to me is really how after it all came out, it was really kind of like Aaliyah got villainized somehow.
Yeah, she got blamed.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's right. The part that I never understood. That was really the biggest part that I never understood, and that's what made the transition to the second album very difficult. We were coming off of a multi-platinum debut album, and you know, except for a few relationships with Jermaine Dupri and Puffy, it was hard for us to get producers.
Wow.
So do you think y'all like had been blackballed once people started?
It felt like it. That's what it felt like, and never understood that. You know, she was 16 at the time. 16, 17 at the time we were cutting that second album, and I just didn't understand why they were upset with Baby Girl.
Wow.
Y'all heard that, right? So it kind of backfired because Aaliyah was the one getting blamed for that whole publicity stunt of him and Robert and Aaliyah having a relationship. So let me go back to Demetrius's recording. Hold on a second. All right, I had to play that for you guys.
I didn't believe that they would go through this, and I did fight them verbally to not do this. But all right, man, I tried. Come on. And I was numb. And after that, I didn't like any of them anymore because I even belittled myself.
He said he didn't like any of them anymore. So according to him, there was the lawyer who was telling them to get married, and it was Jomo who said that was a publicity stunt. And he didn't want to do it according to him, but he's the one who found somebody at the state office who he paid $500 to get this ID for Aaliyah. Then he went to Federal Express, got another ID. So he had 2 IDs that he used to help this publicity stunt to happen, this marriage, right? They got the minister. I mean, it was just a little few of them at this hotel that supposedly this marriage occurred, right? Meanwhile, supposedly, if this was such a horrible criminal act and all this, why was there not a police report done? Why was there not any authorities called in this? No, because they utilized 2 individuals' friendship, because according, I've watched so many interviews, I've read Aaliyah's book, I've read so many things where Aaliyah and Robert had a brother and sister relationship. They used to dress alike, they used to act alike, they used to be playful. They were 2 individuals who were best friends. Aaliyah was teaching Robert to read, and it was like 2 kids. According to them and everybody that I've heard, they said Robert's mindset was very youthful and playful. So for you to have a best friend, 2 adults do not dress alike with somebody that, you get what I'm saying? You know how like when you young, your boyfriend and girlfriend, y'all wear the same colors and stuff like that and do the same thing. They had a useful relationship. Aaliyah said, he is like my brother. He's my best friend. Even when Demetrius, you're gonna hear when Demetrius, Nick and I asked Demetrius about the relationship. He said that when he asked Robert about Aaliyah and him, he's like, no, man, she's like my little sister. So little sisters, you don't have that kind of relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, let's do this. Hold on.
Myself, I went up out of my character. I consider myself not a bad dude, but I stood for morals. My mama raised me with morals, and to stand in that seat at that time and to not make the right decision, it hurts my soul. You see, and I live with that, and I'm sorry for that. And Aaliyah, and then when it comes to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was a child.
Right.
So Aaliyah was not responsible for anything. When people blame Aaliyah and say bad things about Aaliyah, it's sad because she was not at fault of that. And she was a young girl that fell for a charming guy, and he deceived her, and he deceived us all at that time. Her mom, they were there all the time.
Yeah.
But you can't watch a child all the time and everywhere they go. And when you trust somebody, you lack down a little bit. And they trusted us. And Robert betrayed us. And he betrayed them. And I felt he loved her. I felt they loved each other. I felt when they were together that, when all of us would be together, her mom and everybody, was like Robert seemed to have to fit with them as a family, when we would do Christmas together and stuff like that.
Do you think that they were aware that, because I always see that they appear like they had no idea. Like we were there, we had no idea about the relationship. Do you think that, because you're saying he fit as a family and you were able to see that the love that they had together.
I mean, they saw it. We all saw that they had a little something. But we didn't want to, we knew at the same time that Aaliyah was a baby and Robert was older, but Robert was super silly. Robert was, we tried to look at other things about him that would.
You heard it. Robert was super silly. Okay, go. I'm going to keep playing. Go ahead, Solo.
Describe his character at that moment to be in that situation. But I even asked him, I said, Rob, man, after seeing things being a little too friendly or something, Rob, you ain't messing with, you ain't doing nothing with Aaliyah, you ain't trying to mess with Aaliyah, are you, man? Oh, man, that's like my little sister, and so you got to let it pass. And my wholehearted true belief is that, I know that Aaliyah's mom and dad and Barry, they would see things, and even Jomo, because we were always together. We would, like I said, it seemed like they were fitting. We always thought Robert to be a little slow and wanting to be super smart.
You hear that, right? We always thought that Robert was a little slow. You hear that? The we. Barry, Jomo, and Demetrius. We.
And so, but he was deceiving. He truly was deceiving.
So do you believe that he truly deceived her family?
We all wanted Aaliyah to be so comfortable in what she was doing, because when it was...
We all wanted. Guys, do you see what he did? Do you guys see what this man has done? He has put a jacket on Robert, and Robert could never shake this jacket off. And he is the one who initiated it. He's the one who put that disgusting mindset on Robert. He never seen anything happen, but he made assumption. He wrote a book for the world to say that this happened. He's the one who brought Tia around to say this stuff happened. Guys, wake up. Wake up. This man has been doing this. He even said he had people, even when he wasn't even around Robert anymore, he had people still in the camp. He had still people he hired to be around Robert to bring back information for him. Then you have Barry. I mean, guys, wake up. Wake up. And I'm going to finish. I mean, just listen to this, what he said. And then he adds on these, this narrative. Hold on.
When he would sit there and watch Robert and Aaliyah work together, he brought things out of her. He did bring Aaliyah out, her first album, and they were close. And when Robert writes, he turns into the person. When he did Michael Jackson, he turns into Mike. If he did that song for Gladys Knight, he turns into the woman. That's how he flowed. So we didn't look at it to like, me and Barry would look back and well, Robert have to wait. We would see things, but we would think that you had some morals. We would hope that we believed in him, you see, and we were deceived. And that was just the bottom line. I looked for things to happen after we did this, after the marriage thing. There was no, right after he did it, we left. There was no after hugs and none of that. We left. And they went home.
So they go, they get the marriage certificate, they get married. You leave, Aaliyah goes home. And what is your relationship going forward with R. Kelly?
It was over after that. Well, it was over after that pretty much because I just didn't like.
Now you listen to what he just said. After all that happened, the relationship was over. Just listen, y'all. Listen, because there's more stuff I got to play for you guys. Just listen. He said after all of this happened, the relationship was over. But listen.
Myself. And we didn't get along with anything we talked about. He wasn't listening. This is my shit. He was no longer, he was in control. Now he had grew up, in respect to, he had stepped out of himself. And I had went my course. And that's what Barry told me. Barry had said, you just went your course with this one.
Okay, and
you just went your course with this one. Get it? With this one. Okay, listen.
Situation running its course. There was mentions in my interview that I did with Public Announcement that money was taken from him.
Nah.
Listen to this part, y'all. Listen to this part. This is the craziest thing. I was like, oh my God. Listen to this. What this fool just said. She asked him about, there was Public Announcement said something about money was missing. Listen to this fool. Something's wrong in his head. Just listen.
From you or that you took money from him?
Robert
that
gave me no, I didn't steal. I didn't take no money. I took money from Robert in the beginning. When we were down in New York. That's the only time I took any money. It was just $200. And I took that because my family was hungry. And I was in New York with him, and he had a whole pocket full of money and all. They gave him per diems and everything. He didn't give me nothing. And that's when we first started getting into it. I'm like, I was the kind of person, man, my girl tell me she hungry, my baby hungry. And I got to get some money, and I'm in New York, man. You can't give it to me. Somebody's finna get a headache. Because I was ready to go outside and take some money from somebody. But instead, I took it out of his wallet because he had a whole bunch anyway. And then I felt like he was wrong to me, and then I told him. You see, so that was in the 90s. Now we're talking about I left in 95. No, I didn't steal. Now that's
now he left in 95. Remember he left in 94 before?
You know, everybody has signed papers and say you did something, but I didn't steal nothing from nobody. I'm not a thief. I'll take some shit from you, but I ain't a thief.
He's not a thief. He'll take some shit from you, but he's not a thief. He'll take some from you, but he's not a thief. Okay, let's continue. Listen.
You know, I'm a thief, but I ain't taking it from you.
Now I'm
you
a
ain't
thief.
got nothing. You can't give me what I need.
Okay.
And so yeah, public announcement. If Robert told him that, you know, that's what that's just something he's saying. That's Robert knew I ain't steal nothing from him.
Okay, so you own. Okay, so I'm gonna just back up and reset. Okay, because I was like, okay, trying to take it all in. Okay, so your statement to that is that it only happened one time, and that was way before your departure with him, and that had nothing to do with you leaving him. That was just a one-time situation where you needed to feed your family, and you let him know, I took the money, I had to feed my family, and now
I let him know later. I didn't let him know right that day. I let him know later. But you know, he told me, I mean, I didn't think it's you. You know, I ain't say nothing then, but it didn't come up in 95 to say that's why he fired me. No, way before that. Now, after I left him, you know, I still had the credit card, the American Express.
Okay.
And here it is. After that, I left him. We're done. And Daryl, his accountant, knew I had this card. And he said, man, you just hold on to that. Shit, I used it.
So
wasn't, Daryl knew that, so that wasn't stealing either. He knew it. So they didn't turn it off. I said,
wait a minute, y'all. Come on, hold on, y'all. You work for a company, y'all, right? And you have a company credit card, right? You get fired from the company, or you left the company, y'all separate ways, right? You got this credit card that belongs to the company. You use the credit card. How is that not stealing? Something wrong with this guy's head. How is that not stealing? You use the credit card with the company you no longer work for. That's stealing. That's stealing. It don't belong to you. It belongs to the company. You're supposed to turn that credit card to the company once you severed your relationship with the company. That's stealing. Something's wrong with this guy's mental capacity here. And he called Robert slow? Oh, Lord. Hold on.
Got the card. He said, well, you just hold on to that, man. You might need a little something. Don't worry about it. Because I was.
Okay, who's Daryl? Sorry.
Daryl McDavid was his accountant.
Okay, so his accountant knew that you had his credit card. And when you decided to depart from working with him, he gave you the green light to be able to continue to use his credit card.
He didn't say use it. He said hold on to it. He didn't say use it. He said.
Now, remember the three players I told y'all guys? I said Daryl McDavid, I said Barry Hankinson, and I said Demetrius, right? Those are the three players, right? Now, did you hear him say that the accountant, which is Daryl McDavid, who was in charge of all Robert's finances, who cut the checks, who stuff was paid out to, he let Demetrius keep the card. A card that he was supposed to turn once he got fired, the relationship severed, there's no more employment. Why would he allow this man to keep the credit card? And then this man runs up the credit card of a company he no longer worked for. Don't you think there's a setup here? Cahoots? Set up? Big time? Set up? Set up? Get it? All right, hold on.
He didn't say use it. He said hold on to it. But, you know, here I am broke. I went to the gas station one day. It's winter time in Chicago, Christmas time, and I went to the gas station broke. I'm talking about I had my kids, and they didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing.
Wait.
So
lean back. Yeah, stay to the left, because how I'm doing the split screen, the half of the screen is not on there because I have to fit myself and you in there. So stay to this side. Okay.
So what happened after that? I went to the gas station one day and I tried the car and it worked.
Okay.
It was Christmas then. That's just the bottom line.
But he's not a thief.
Way gone. I wasn't. Okay. It was over. I was never coming back. But again, he hired me again a year after that. So
you used the card. Was that kind of yourself saying, "Hey, this is my payment, my severance package of leaving"? Like how?
I didn't care. I didn't think nothing about it. It worked. I used it. Fuck him. That was my thought. So, if you got some beef with that, that's your business. And I ain't steal shit. And that's just the bottom line to it.
But if you didn't know about it, that's kind of like stealing.
Well, take it as stealing if you want to. I don't care. If so what? What? I ain't finna sit here and argue about if I took something from that man. Why is it a concern to anybody? Robert hired me back a year after that. You see, so it wasn't that big of a deal to him, so I'm not going to sit here and be arguing about if it's a big deal to you. You see, because I'm telling you, I didn't steal it.
I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people want to know what are the different motives, and that is when we were having a conversation about the different people who appeared in Surviving R. Kelly. A lot of it was they got motives because they have a vendetta against him. The reason they're speaking out is because they're no longer able.
Here's the key. Every single body that was in that Surviving R. Kelly had a vendetta against Robert. There are so many people who feel that Robert owed them money. There are so many people got fired and felt that they were fired wrongfully. There are so many people who felt that Robert used them because they brought an artist in and Robert did not give them the credit and they're not getting paid for their artist. That goes for Cheryl Mack, Demetrius Smith, Barry Hankinson. They all had vendettas against Robert. Even Darren McDavid, after Robert fired him, he sued Robert for $1 million because he felt Robert owed him. But meanwhile, he was sneaking and stealing money. He was in control of the whole bank. The whole Robert. Why is this man broke after making all this kind of money? It's these people, these management, these people who have taken control, was taken behind the man's back. He didn't even know. Remember the interview he had with Gail when he said he went to the bank, and then his first time ever going to the bank and finding out he had $350,000 in the bank. Now this man's supposed to be worth hundreds of millions, right? He had $350,000 in the bank. Why is that? Because people was doing stuff behind his back, buying different companies, opening up different companies into his name, and he did not have a knowledge of none of this. Because why? Because he does not have he has dyslexia. He did not have the ability of reading, understanding, and comprehending some of the business sense of what's going on in his company. Do you understand what I'm saying? These people. Robert needed protection, period. There are a law for doing this kind of stuff to somebody who has some sort of disability. Okay? He was not protected. He had vultures all around him. People who saw his weaknesses and they decided to pounce. That is what happened. That is what's going on right now. How is the government that dense and that dumb could use a book from a crook, a guy who is a convicted felon who's robbed stores, who stole iPads and iPod and all this kind of stuff? How is his book, how is he getting immunity for stuff that he and his partners in crime actually did? How? If it's not a setup. How? Every single individual that supposedly had cases against Robert, it was what? During the time with Demetrius Smith. Okay? And it's not by accident how these dads and parents now, I'm telling y'all, there is a connection with them. You notice Don Russell's situation happened? He was in California. Y'all, they're all connected. They're connected. They're all connected. But who gets the bad end of it is Robert. That's the one that's getting blamed, because you know what? He's the one with the money. And government don't care about anything. The only thing government cares about is the money, the dollars. The dollars. That's all they care about, the dollars. They don't even care if they got this innocent man in jail because of something somebody else do. They don't care. They don't care how these people gave fake ID. And it didn't just happen just that one time with these fake IDs. This happening all the time. Jerronda Pace, how did she end up in the video and showing pictures of her if these people were not connected some kind of way? How is it that this woman, you see her in 3 different settings during the trial, and now she's one of the supposedly victims? How come she's on the news thing? How? If they're not connected. Jim Derogatis is the little gnat behind all of this. He's playing that narrative. They all got together. They're doing this together. I promise you. This is what's happening. And nobody is really out there pushing and helping Robert except his supporters. And that's why I said we are his voice. We cannot let these people do this. It's like we're watching a movie and it's playing out and we're just like, oh, this can't possibly be. It's a setup. It's a setup. I'm not saying that Robert is a choir boy. I'm not saying that Robert don't like a lot of women. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. But I'm saying that he is set up. They use Robert's weakness of having an extra testosterone, extra like libido than other men. They use that against him. They the one who actually bought these women. They're the one who's looking at these IDs of these girls and letting them through, giving them passes. The people that's behind this, getting their hand greased behind the corner, getting the pockets stuff behind the corner. It's sickening me because the world sit around. I mean, I've had arguments with friends, y'all. I'm telling you, arguments with people. I don't even talk to them because of how I feel of what I know. That they're arguing with me. Well, what about this one? Well, he married Leah. But the marriage of Leah was a whole publicity stunt. It was a publicity stunt. Negative news. This woman was coming out as an artist. They wanted her to be recognized. What they do, give something negative. Negativity is going to bring her up there. People are going to look at it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if it was really a crime, don't you think back then he would have been arrested? Don't you think he would have been arrested back then? If it was all like that? That's when they could have really made money off of him. He was up as his prime then. It is not a crime to have a strong sex life. It's not a crime. Okay, I'm going to finish playing. I'm sorry. I have to get into my soap because, I'm very, very passionate about this. I believe and I trust that of his innocence. I never said Robert is a choir boy. He's not a choir boy. None of us. None of you guys are perfect in here. You might think you are. You want to put the judgment on this man because his stuff is out in the open, which people added on stuff. They take a little something and add a whole bunch of lies to it. A little something, a whole bunch of lies. And what the world believes is the lie, because half of the people hate him for who he is. And half of them hate him because of what he has. They want to be him. Like Demetrius. Demetrius, man, I'm telling you, this man thought he was Robert. He worshiped the ground Robert because he wanted to be Robert. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me finish playing this.
No longer able to be a part. And if there is bad blood, that makes a difference as to the motive in speaking out about R. Kelly. So, I mean, it does make a difference if you took from him and there's bad blood.
But that's not the issue with me and Robert. Not at all. That's not an issue with me and Robert. Again, like I said, he hired me back another year after that. because Daryl don't call me and they.
You know what? See, here's the thing too. Robert has that forgiving heart. Robert is not the average person. He's more of a saint. I'm saying a saint because there are people, you mess with them one time, they cut you off. You'll never get back in there to do the same crap you did to them before. You understand what I mean? But there are people who have a heart, who God places a heart in them, that they have this forgiving heart, that no matter what you do in this world, they will forgive you and allow them to be back and for you to just mess with them again. And that's the type of heart that this man has. He said it in that interview, and I believe every word, because Demetrius is even saying it himself, his crooked self. He's even saying, Robert let me back in. Now, would you let somebody back in that stole your money, lied about you, all this stuff that they did to you? Would you let them back in? It comes a point where enough is enough. That's why Robert needs protection. He needs protection from the leeches and from the demonic spirit that's all around him, because he has this angelic soul. He's not from this world. He's not of this world. Granted that somebody jacked him up when he was younger and took away his innocence, but now all of a sudden they trying to paint him as this crazy monster, which he's not. Because I'm telling you, the people that knows Robert, that young lady, it acts older than he does, because he has this innocence inside of him. He has this innocence. If you stood in front of Robert and talked to that man, he has this innocence in him. He wants to be liked by everybody. Do he have a mean streak sometimes? I guarantee all of us has a mean streak. When you get tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? Okay, sorry. Let me finish playing.
Oh man, they sent me overseas, and I didn't stay there either. So
Okay.
I left in '90, right after the Aaliyah situation. I left. Then during that period, other things were happening.
Did you hear his line behind right after Leah's situation? He left, right? Leah's situation supposedly happened in 1994, right? He left in 1995. First, he left in 1994, right after it happened. But then he changed his story that he left in 1995. Not only did he leave, but he came back because Robert allowed him to come back, right? He used a credit card, spent a whole bunch of money on the credit card, but he still was allowed to come back. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Happening. Tapes came up missing and all kinds of.
Okay, now tapes. Okay, all right. And he's the one part of this tape stuff, y'all. He had the tapes in his hand. He don't just. Oh my God. Okay, hold on.
Stuff was happening. And I always been close to Robert. I always.
When you say tapes, music tapes.
No, this was when the first tape started coming out about him, and some girls, and he called me back at that time.
Okay.
Because I'm in.
Oh, they call him back around the tape time too, y'all. They call him back then too, huh? Y'all. Get it? Get it, y'all? Do y'all get it? You hear what I'm saying? They call him back around the tape. Okay, you steal money, you took credit card, you came back, you leave again. You come back again when the tape situation come about. Come on, y'all. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
I was influential on the streets, you see. And
influential, and what do you mean? In which way?
And people liked me. People talked to me. People, had a respect for me, and they would communicate with me. And if something was happening, and then I could ask somebody something, and it'll be out there on the streets, and I could find out.
So he put you up to investigate who got the tapes? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he didn't put me up to it. He called me to his office, and
okay, y'all. Do you think Robert is the one that actually called him? Do you think Robert is the one that actually called him? If you listen to the book and what he's saying, there's two different stories, y'all. Barry talked to him. Barry called him. General gave him the tapes. Just listen, y'all. Just listen. This guy just lies so much, he don't even know when his lies is right.
You know, it's like I said, I am conflicted with this right now because the things that you're asking me about are things of the past in respect to, they really have no big value to what this thing is doing to everybody.
Okay, this fool just said that it has no, this stuff is in the past. It has no thing with what's going on. Okay, guys, have you had a chance to read the indictments? In the indictments in New York, the indictments in Chicago, in Illinois federal, every single one with the exception of the two recent people are all back from 1990 something. And he's just said here, that's all in the past. The indictment included Aaliyah's the fake ID that was purchased for Aaliyah, but he says all of this is in the past. Did this fool just said that all of this is in the past? But Robert is being held responsible and is in jail because of things that supposedly happened in the past. But this fool said, "Oh, that's in the past." But in every instances, he's the one that partook in every part of every indictment charges, with the exception of the two that's happening now. He took part in every single one. He's the one who brought Tia. He's the one who got the fake ID for Aaliyah. He's the one who the young girl supposedly. He's the one who got the tapes. Y'all listen to this. And he has a vendetta with Robert. He's been angry from the time his sister took Robert up under her wings. He felt that his sister betrayed him. I got tapes. I got recording. Okay, guys, just take some time. Just listen. You know what? I'm going to spend the next couple of days on this dude. And I'm going to play different things for you guys because I got to get it into your head of what this dude is doing. And he got immunity, guys. He got immunity. He's not even being charged. He's the one who's talking to the government. The government, that's his key witness. And the reason why I know, because when he got arrested, he got pulled in, he called me and said, "Oh, they just came to my house and gave me the paperwork." He went to not only to New York, he went to Chicago to talk to the grand jury, guys. And they utilized his book as the footprint, the foundation of the charges with Robert, along with the young lady in New York case, the whole sex thing. And we're going to talk about that one too. We're going to talk about that one. But come on, hold on.
It's doing to everybody. People have been hurt in this situation. Robert Kelly has not been an honorable person in this situation.
Anybody who I interview, I don't want you to feel badgered by my questions. I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you, because that's not my goal to attack you. What I like to do is understand the clear picture of what's going on. I like to know what roles people played. I want to know, I want to know the full story. I don't want to know the part that just only makes him look bad. I don't want to make you look bad. I don't want to pin certain things on people. I just want to get a clear understanding of what the environment was, what was happening, what the relationships were like, how people departed ways, what was going on. So I just want to clarify that, because I don't want you to feel attacked. I feel like you started to kind of feel like,
I mean, a little bit, I feel like
you started to feel like I'm attacking you when I'm just trying to figure out
understand
what, what's going on. Because I don't want you to feel like that. I don't want anybody who I interview to feel like that. I'm just trying, like I said, to understand the relationship roles. And I feel like if there is bad blood, or if there are truths to certain things, then it would, not to say like, oh, I'm just trying to hop on this R. Kelly train now, because like you said, you wrote your book 8 years ago. But certain things to me do matter when telling the full story.
Absolutely. But yeah, again, I wrote that book 8 years ago, The Man Behind the Man. And I did.
And he told me the government contacted him because they use his book. Lifetime use his book. Okay? The false accusers, you know, the ones that was in the Lifetime, they read the book. And if you listen to some of their stories, it's the stuff that's inside the book. The books that have written surround us around the parts in the book. Okay? All right.
And go out and hire publicists to get me publicity then, and I'm not doing it now. You see,
Okay.
I am on the internet just like a lot of people, and I see you people talking on it, and I look at people and I look at the comments and I look at all the bad things that are said about me, and I try to answer them.
Oh, I want to also tell you guys, this Mr. Demetrius, he threatened me, y'all. And I can show you other threats that he threatened me once he found out that I had given somebody the recording and played it, and the recordings and everything was given to the attorneys. He threatened me, and he called me a snake. He says snakes like people like me is how, you know, they find me in a ditch or something like that. He said to me, you know, all this kind of stuff, you know. But he doesn't understand when God puts you on an assignment that it comes with some kind of understanding that sometimes you have to die for what you believe in. That's why I put it in the my title. You have to stand for something. Or you'll fall for anything. So I'm standing for the justice and the fairness and what is right. That's what I'm standing for.
Sure. And so now it's time to really help people get some understanding to this. For one, I really want to close the gap with Aaliyah. I really want to close that because her mom has suffered enough for this. It's a lot. You know, she lost her daughter and her husband. And now whatever she's got to deal with this, that's her and God now. Let her do that. Let her go at peace with that because that's a lot. She went through a lot, and she trusted. And I'm hearing all kinds of things about Miss Diane, and she's a wonderful lady. You know, Aaliyah's family is wonderful. So I'm sorry for my partner. I wish I had called Barry. That maybe would have made a difference. You see, but in that respect, I don't like to talk about Leah because she had no part in being a
right.
victim.
In that part, we can agree that she was a victim. I'm not placing blame on her. When I talk about any of my R. Kelly videos, I don't feel like she was this person that people paint her out to be. I feel like she was a 15-year-old little girl.
Aaliyah was an angel for her time here.
Yeah, and that's why I try to get a clear understanding as to, you know, the mom doesn't talk much. She wrote out a statement, so all people
can't talk. This is hurtful. I mean, it pains me. I'm telling you, man. I sit up pretty much looking at this stuff here, and when Aaliyah comes up, it hurts. It don't stop hurting. So can you imagine her? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's leave her alone, man. Let's leave her alone. Let's leave her alone with Aaliyah. Aaliyah was here, and we were blessed with her, and to enjoy her and her smiles to live inside of our hearts.
Mm-hmm. So we can move on from Aaliyah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Surviving R. Kelly, the docu-series. How did they contact you to be a part of that documentary?
They called me, Clarissa. I'll tell you her name now. And she called me, reached out to me on, I think it was Facebook or Messenger, and said that she was with Lifetime and they got my book. And they said they wanted to sit and talk to me about it because it was very interesting.
Did you hear him? Remember I said the book. Lifetime call him because the book. Federal government got him because of the book. Okay? The book. The false narrative, the lies that he put because he has a vendetta against Robert Sylvester Kelly, that he felt that he should be Robert. He could have been the superstar because according to him, what he said to me, he sings better than Robert. That's what he said to me.
Y'all, that's what that fool said to me.
Informative on what they were doing regarding R. Kelly and showing the people how he all started. And that was me.
Okay.
You see? And so when I went and talked to him, I sat and talked to him about my book, and they started asking questions about it, and that was that. But they only put on what they placed my words where they wanted to place them at in the conversations in which they had the question. They placed my words there. Okay, when Rob wanted to go to the mall, we take him to the mall. We worked for him.
When Rob want to go to the mall, we take him to the mall because we work for him. Now listen to what he said. Okay, here we go.
Make it look like I'm right here with him doing this. But yes, he was a young artist when he was with me, and the malls were just beginning to open. So malls were new. That was the hangout place for people. And they wanted to go to mall in every city because I had to schedule my artists. I had to know where he was. And I had to put him, where is he going after this? So everywhere we went, I scheduled the mall. Where's the mall at? Okay, take him there. That gives me some free time with myself because I'm riding the bus with a whole bunch of kids. Seems like they're not none.
Did you hear him? He's riding the bus with a whole bunch of kids because Robert's a kid to him, right? He's riding the bus with a whole bunch of kids. Hey, Lord Jesus, help.
None of them were young, but they just had that mentality, and so he would go after that. He would go to play basketball. After basketball, he would go to McDonald's.
He would play basketball. He would go to McDonald's. Robert's been doing this routine all his life. He's been playful, been innocent, boyish, Hold on.
McDonald's, he would come to a sound check. If he don't make the sound check, then he's at the hotel. Security's telling me where that. That was every city. So when they began to start passing out notes and stuff like that, then
when they began to passing out notes, okay,
I started taking a different approach at them because I had to put up a defense to try to protect my artists, and that was my heart's thing with Robert.
Okay, so he's saying when they went out to pass out notes, he had to protect his artists. And who was that artist? Robert. He was supposedly protecting Robert. Okay.
And when Robert began to step out of himself and this is my shit, then he wanted me to humble and.
Oh, here he is. There go the answer. Robert told him this is my shit, right? And so he said Robert wanted him to humble because he felt that he was the real artist, not Robert. He was the one in control. Robert didn't listen to him. Okay, all right. He's the man, y'all. Sound like jealousy to me.
And do what he wanted me to do. And I just couldn't be like that. I had a job to do, and my job description was to protect you. You wasn't protecting yourself. So now you want me to work and do what you want me to do.
Ooh.
You want me to start fights with other people. We was out there with LL. We was out there with Gerald. We was out there with lots of people, and it was always confusion. Mm-hmm. And I just got tired of that. So now we're talking about the surviving R. Kelly. So
sound like being vindicted. Hey, Niecy Mel. It sound like being vindicted. Hey, Ashley. Hey, my Ash. Hey, Pilar. I didn't see you guys. Hey, guys. Okay, here we go. Let me finish playing.
I saw the program. It stirred up some different things inside of me. Again, feeling the shame in which I participated in where I was at.
What do you think now that we see all the women that come out, we see the situation from his past, what do you think is his proper correction? Do you think that he needs like mental health help as far as going to a mental facility, getting some type of psychological help? Or do you think that he deserves jail time for what he's doing? What do you think the correction for this is?
Again, I think that an understanding of what we're walking is truly needed in so many ways in respect to this. To me, Robert is a light that's going to shine, to bring out some truth and a whole lot of things. To be in jail, I think that the opportunity to lock him up, they should have did it when they had that, but they didn't because they was found not guilty. And the one with the girl with the cases. Aaliyah was That's over. He admitted that.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
That should be enough.
Hold on a
because
second. I gotta go back to.
and she's not here.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna play this thing here.
I mean, I understand why he would need psychological help. We all see like what he's doing, so I think we get an understanding. So it's just like a matter of.
Hold on.
See, that's the whole problem.
Mm-hmm.
We gave him second chances.
Hold on. There you go. Look at this.
He needs to be cleansed. It's not. To me, Robert. I mean, we can lock him up in the jail cell. But then, then you're going to do something deeper because now he has a gift. We're all aware of that.
Okay.
He needs psychological help. If you want me to cut it short, but if you want me to tell you how and why he deserves that.
I mean, I understand why he would need psychological help. We all see like what he's doing. So I think we get an understanding. So it's just like a matter of, I guess, personal opinion, because some people feel like he needs to be jailed, locked away. And then some people think that he needs a second chance and to be able to be.
We gave him a second chance. See, when they found him not guilty.
Listen to what he said, y'all.
We gave him a second chance. See, that's the whole problem. Mm-hmm. We gave him second chances. You see, when they violated me and dishonored me and my.
Did you hear that? When he violated him and dishonored his family. What? Just listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. When he violated him. What? What the heck you talk about, fool? Listen to what the violation supposedly is. Listen.
Family, I should have whooped his ass.
How did he violate you?
Well, he he went with my sister. He went with people that were sponsoring him, and his little head overruled his.
Did you hear that fool just said? He went with my sister. He went with the people that was sponsoring him. His little head ruled his big head. Did you hear this fool? Y'all, if this is not a setup, what is it? If it's not a setup, what is it? This fool just said Robert violated him by going with his sister. What? Okay, hold on. And his sister, remember, Robert was what, 18? The sister was 27, right? So how is that violating him? Don't you think Robert was the one violated by him? This is crazy. This is nuts. This fool really got this in his head. That he got something against Robert, y'all. And it's called jealousy. It's called envy. Okay. Yeah, definitely. The setup is real. Hold on, y'all. Let's finish listening.
Head overruled his big head. But he was young for me, so I overlooked that. But
so he started dating your sister? Or having a sexual relationship with her? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I wrote it in the book. See, I don't got to, saying once you go in there, then you'll say, whoa. You see, that's something you have to go, Now, after that, he did some other things. Pretty much everybody that came into his life, he has done something. And he got a pass. See, You learn in life by two ways. You learn by discipline and you learn by consequences, right?
Okay.
Robert didn't get any discipline. So he didn't have to face his consequences. So that grew in him. Mm-hmm. See, like a weed. A weed grows, and if you don't cut it, it gets stronger and stronger. So this seed of lust and abuse and illiteracy and sneakiness and hiding your pain has grown in him so thick.
Right.
Till I believe I can fly. You know what I'm saying?
Ready for that.
He writes that shit. He writes that shit. You know what I'm saying? And when I first met Robert, we used to ride around. I come get this kid because he, man, me put him in the car. I'm pulling up on these two ladies, young teenage girls. And girl, I was wondering if you would like to come with me to a place where our love would flow. That boy would flow right there. And the girls was, ooh, hey, let's go get a McDonald's. Let's go in here and sit down in Burger King. From there we go.
He used Robert singing to get girls, y'all. Did you just hear him just say that? Did you just hear him say that? He used Robert singing to get girls. He used Robert singing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Hold on. We're gonna play this. Oh my goodness.
On the date. So and that built his confidence. And I believe that when he got with my sister, she was an older woman. And
Wait. Did he say when he got with my sister, she was an older woman? I thought that Robert likes only little girl. That's the narrative that they're putting out. But he just said when he got with my sister, who's older. This dude, man, y'all. He put that jacket on Robert. He's the one like young girls. If you guys know the history of Demetrius Smith, he has kids that was way young. Kids. And he was in his 30s getting a girl pregnant. Hold on.
The underage girls, because how old was your sister at the time?
About 27, 26, 27. And he was...
He was what?
So,
did you hear him whisper? He was a minor. And she said, he was what? That he didn't want to repeat it. He keep trying to say that his sister was having a relationship with a minor. Robert was 18 when him and his sister got together. Okay. All right. Let me just put that out there because he tried to put it on that underage stuff on his sister, which Demetrius is the one that, if you talk to his sister, which I talked to her, she'll tell you he's the one that likes those young girls. He's the one that was videotaping those girls. He's the one who kept reproducing videos and things like that. He's the one that worked for a sleazy porn guy. He's the one who started all that. He claimed he groomed Robert. He was the one going to the malls and going after young girls. He used Robert's voice so he can holler at those girls. Okay, let's just be honest, y'all. Just it's a setup. We know it's a setup. There's three major players: Demetrius Smith, Barry Hankinson, and who? Daryl McDavid. Those are the main three players in this whole shenanigan. Okay, all right. Let's continue. Hold on a second. My phone just. Hold on.
So he was younger. So that's how Robert wrote, and he patterned himself after things that he see. If you listen to him talk on his videos and everything he talks about, if he's not playing, making a joke, if he gets serious, it's only for a second, and he quotes somebody, and then he's lost after that. So I left him in '94. He's stuck there.
This little line behind just say he left from '94. Y'all, how many lies has this fool told? A whole bunch of lies throughout the show. Just one interview, y'all. One interview, a whole bunch of lies. He can't even keep up when he left Robert. He said he left in '94, y'all. Okay.
You see, but his imagination.
That he didn't grow mentally after that.
Yes, his imagination is buck wild when it comes to people because that's how he communicates. He'll stand on the stage and see y'all screaming and hollering, and he now he knows how to get to you out there. See, I see your hands raised. Come on, clap. Now you can put the whole song together. That's his genius. Now that's a gift. That's a gift that overlaps his intellect, overlaps his. It communicates his pain, and it tells a story that identifies in our lives.
Right.
So to cut him down, and we're cutting off the gift.
So you think he should be able to still continue to make music? Is what you're saying? And use the gift?
I mean, it means he's always going to make music whether it's public or not, if he survives this. So he's in a slippery slope right now, and I think that Robert. He has to be willing. He has to be willing to look
This
and
criminal
say
need to
that
be behind bars,
everybody ain't
y'all.
wrong. You know, what they say, pride comes before the fall.
I've never heard that one, but
It's something like that. But he's prideful, and right now he's hurting, and I know he's hurting because the people have condemned him. To me, it's a double jeopardy, and not in defense to his character, to the things that people believe that he has done. People want to. I mean, I'm remorseful.
mm-hmm.
I'm remorseful.
What are you
And
remorseful
I feel
for,
like
huh?
he's not showing any of that, and that bothers people.
Yeah, that he's
Because
not
at the end,
showing any remorse.
Yeah, that bothers people, and I think that, and he don't know how to come and tell you. He has to write it, and he don't know to write it because he don't know if he did it. You see what I'm saying? So that's mental. But at the same time, these girls are hurting. These girls in the panel, people have hurt. Families are destroyed. Look at this family. You see? So it's time for a healing, to be honest with you. It's time for a healing.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to step away from R. Kelly per se, and I want to talk to you specifically about the process in which you underwent the docu-series. So when I talked to you, you said that you were contacted via Facebook by one of the members of Lifetime to come on and do the docu-series. Okay. And then you also stated that there were parts of your words put in other places that was not in context.
Yeah, I mean, you got that. You had the part. I mean, it made it look like I was right there with him. It made it look like I was supporting his ways, and which happened after me. Those girls, I didn't know none. I know the young girl that was in the videotape with him. That I know her, but I didn't know her enough to say that he was messing with her. I know that she was babysitting for him when Andrea.
So is it safe to say that they patched together the narrative that they wanted to sell?
Yeah, I would say that, yes. I look at everybody in there, I'm like, I mean, it wasn't nobody. They didn't tell me who, but they told me they had a lot of people that were from his background back in the days, from the Cotton Club and stuff like that. And I'm like, who could that be? So I pretty much knew everybody. And then when I seen the show, they didn't let me know it was coming out. They didn't invite me to the premiere, none of that kind of stuff. And when it came out, I didn't watch it until I looked at all the comments of people. And after I seen that, I said, let me watch this thing. And I watched it, and I'm like, wow.
Have you seen the interview or the audio that was released by Daytime Tea Time, in which Timothy Savage was on recording, and he was talking about how some of the producers knew that some of the people were lying on there? Did you watch that?
No, I never watched anything on Mr. Savage because I never watched anything on Mr. Savage. He called me a few times, but I don't answer the calls because I don't.
Whoa! Did he say he called him a few times? Whoa! He said that Tim Savage called him a few times? Whoa! Lord, y'all. The pot getting thicker and thicker. Anybody got some cornstarch for this pot? Because the sauce is getting thicker and thicker. He just said Tim Savage called him a few times. What other parents call you a few times? Y'all, you know, sometimes it's good to listen to tapes over and over because you catch some sort of nuggets that you missed before. Because I've listened to this interview, but I never heard him say that Tim Savage called him a few times. You said replay that? Okay, Aaliyah, let me replay that a minute. Hold on a second. This is crazy, y'all. Okay. Okay, I'm going to play it again. Okay, ready, y'all? He just said Tim Savage called him a few times, but he didn't talk to him. How did he get your number? Something's not right in the water, y'all. Water smells very, very fishy.
I never watched anything on Mr. Savage. He called me a few times, but I don't answer the calls because I don't see where we got anything in common other than the fact if your daughter's held hostage, then you should go get her. And you don't need cameras to do that. If you get a camera, it's because you've committed a crime. You see against them in respect to that. But, you know, when I see his daughter saying that she's not a hostage, I believe that because I know Robert Kelly. I don't know Robert.
He said when he seen, you know, when his daughter said that she's not held hostage, Demetrius finally told the truth somewhere, right? He said, I believe her that she's not held hostage because the type of person Robert is. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Listen. If you listen closely, you hear the truth of some of the other stuff, the fluff that's being surrounded in this, all of this. But listen with the discerning ear that God gave you. Ask God to help you discern some of the stuff that's going on. Yeah, hold on.
Than any of the women hostage?
Not a hostage, no. Robert Kelly has, again, his mind level is there at the same level. He can talk them out of things. It's just.
Did you hear them? He's still putting Robert as a mindset of someone who's youthful? Youthful? Okay, listen.
Like if you got a man, you know, your level of respect for him is how you hold for him. His display of love to you is what bonds you to. Mm-hmm. So
your mic is rubbing against your shirt again.
Okay. His again, your level of respect for him equates his display of love to you.
Yeah, now, basically, 20 or a woman in her early 20s, and him, his mental capacity is there of a 20-year-old. That's so you're saying basically they're able to communicate and you know get along because their mind mentally is in the same place.
Well, he's comforting to them, and they're comforting to him, and he's the provider for them. They like the world they live in. They like walking out in the limelight. When he first got with the dancers, they wanted this limelight. You know, I know Andrea. Andrea's an awesome dancer, and she loved it every night when them lights came on her. And when after the lights and after the show, everybody was, hey. You know, and Robert's way of telling them to stay in straight lines or don't look at people, he felt was he told me, Mr. McGlynn used to always tell him, don't go out in front of the audience after your show. And after the show, you leave straight out. You sit back there and wait. And that's what he used to do. And he had them do the same thing, make them want you. But that was a wrong concept to me. But those girls knew what they were doing. And as far as being, I don't think Robert is the hostage. He don't do that.
So you don't think that he's okay. So you believe that they're able to leave on their own free will and that, you know, it's a consensual relationship.
Yeah, if they leave, they know that what they're walking away from. They want that. Because me, even when I left, I didn't have nothing. After 6-7 years with her, I didn't have nothing. That was my fault. You see, I bruised my damn self by staying in it. You see what I'm saying? He didn't beat me up. He didn't say, Johnny, sleep on the couch out there. You got to be here in the morning. If I left and I wasn't there and he didn't miss me, he didn't call me. But if I made myself to where I would be, I tried to create a job to where I'm valuable to where he needed me, then he called me. But if you're just there hanging, then, you know, he liked the company.
Right.
You know, so that's how that goes with that. Not to say that they weren't abused, because to me, you have to draw a line in abuse. You just do, because it stands alone. And to me, it's the only thing that does.
So, okay, so you said that you believe that their relationship was consensual. When it comes to the docu-series, because there was a lot of speculation on whether the people who participated in the docu-series were paid or not paid. Did you guys receive compensation to be in the docu-series?
Well, they told me they couldn't pay you just a straight out fee. They paid for pictures. I don't know what they paid them. You see, I got paid for pictures. I gave them 3-4 pictures. They gave me some money for the pictures. I'm sure that everybody else got paid something if it wasn't for pictures, or if it was for just pictures. It wasn't a lot of money involved when you're doing a documentary series.
Money.
I don't know that feel. I did it because they spoke with my book, and that's why I did it.
You pretty much did it for promo for your book.
Pretty much, you know, because it's been sitting for 8 years, and if it was about his beginning, I don't want to be forgotten. I was a part of that beginning. I got some pain in that beginning. So hey, why not? You know, I helped develop him. I helped develop the monster.
Right. So they only.
Did you just hear what he said? He helped develop the monster. His voice make you nauseous. He does mine too. But sometimes you just gotta listen through the crap of what he. Listen with discerning ears, y'all.
They didn't offer per se, I'm going to pay you to be in the docu-series, but I'll pay you if you have supporting stuff that we can include. So you're saying that it wasn't a lot of money that they gave, and that wasn't the...
No, I didn't get no lot. I ain't get no money to go get no house, no car, no. It wasn't no money like that.
I mean, well, I wouldn't assume that you'd be able to go get no money like that, but, you know, it's something.
It wasn't nothing close to that. It wasn't nothing at all. I mean, like I look at, again, I could go back to some of the people in it. Jim Price. Yeah, man, you know, Robert used to watch videos, and that boy never watched no video with Robert. I mean, I know, because I was there. I would hire him as a security just to go hang out for a weekend. And he wasn't even close to Robert at that. You see, so, you know, he knew Robert. He knew Robert. He knows him. We used to go out and play ball together, stuff like that. But you know, that was somebody that they knew to get to his wife.
So people were clearly lying on the docuseries and not telling the truth.
I mean, to say that they're lying is to say that you've been with them 24 hours a day, or that you really know what they saw. I don't.
But you said that you...
But to identify Jim, I know Jim. To say that I don't believe, I can say that I don't believe.
Okay,
so I guess that's the better way to say it.
Maybe
I don't believe that he saw tapes of Robert. I never saw a tape of Robert except what his brother Kerry showed me. You know, and just be with Robert and hang out with him. He didn't show no videotapes of himself with the girls. Those was for his private use. You know.
So basically, you don't want to call him a liar, but they weren't. You don't believe him.
I don't believe that he saw tapes with Robert. I don't believe that. No.
Okay.
That's just my belief. He could have. I'm not saying I can't say he didn't. But from my belief and knowing Robert, he don't do that. And Jim wasn't that close with Robert, where he could even call him. So why would he sit and watch a tape with somebody he don't, you know, probably don't even know his number. Robert back then didn't know his number. He knew his friend's number, Larry's number, but he wasn't close with Robert like that. That's just Jim. His wife, she knew who he was. To sit up there and say she didn't. And I'm not trying to defend him, because I'm disappointed in him. But to have somebody sit, I have a history with him.
Okay.
See, and love and the truth don't change. You see, I have that history with him. And no.
So when it comes to Drea, she knew what exactly.
She know the kind of man Robert was. Robert was a player. Even when she met him, when I was with Robert, he had women around. I mean, look at 12 play. Mm-hmm. We put together 12 women, and we wasn't looking at little girls. Never. That didn't happen until I don't know how Robert got there. I really don't. But again, I have to look at what he's come up in to see that's.
Okay, you were going down a timeline of the people that were in the docuseries. So you said the first guy, he said that.
Hey guys, what year did 12 Play come out? What year 12 Play? Tell me, what year was that for 12 Play? Marshall, you in here? I know you're the whiz in that. What year did 12 Play come out? Come on, y'all, my gurus of Robert's music. What year did 1993? Okay, thank you, J-Rock.
You watch tapes with R. Kelly. You don't believe that to be true. Drea claims that she didn't know about the women, and you're saying that she knew about his lifestyle. When it comes to other people in the docuseries, what is your overall view of it, of the other people in the docuseries?
Well, I feel like they're hurt. I feel like they were hurt because I guess they might have got tired, and I don't think that Robert. I think that they got tired of being in what they were in, and they weren't number one that they had hoped to be.
So
And,
bitter
they
because
were-
they weren't the main chick.
Yeah.
So,
And but the, mhm.
so
and they none of them should have been there if they'd have looked at the fact that the man was married.
okay. So basically what you're saying is they knew that he was married. They knew that there were other women. They agreed to start being in this lifestyle. But once they figured out that they could not be the main chick, they decided to depart. And that's really what this is derived around. Is that what I'm just want to summarize?
I mean, you got to look at. I mean, when you're standing on what's real and the truth, man, the man married. What you doing with him?
Mm-hmm.
When you mess with a married person, it's death. It's trouble.
Okay.
So what's happening? Trouble. You messing with a married man. You know he married. Regardless if he together with his wife or not. You ain't supposed to mess with married people. It's trouble. And so now you're looking for me to find some to be compassionate about you being hurt when you're violating the vows of a marriage. So I have to stop there and say, hey, okay, I can be compassionate about you because you were young. But you at that time were old enough. Now, if you were being hurt, then your family should have got you. Robert ain't holding you like that. So I got to look at what's real. And what's real is when you're married, man. And you can't violate that.
Well,
there should be a law for that.
People are saying that the girls are brainwashed, and that's why they're not going to their families. And that's, that's the issue, that he's brainwashing them and he's holding them away from his family, that he's keeping them away from their families. That's kind of what the narrative of Surviving R. Kelly is on the show. They're painting the narrative that the women can't leave. He's holding them. That's kind of what the picture that they're trying to paint. Even though they're saying,
I don't think that they. I don't think. I mean, if they couldn't leave, he'd be in jail right now. Because that's just you just don't hold hostages here in the United States of America. This is not one of them kind of countries, and then be out there walking the streets every day. You see, they with him. What kind of power does he have? Now we're giving an illiterate person all this power.
Right.
You see. And now you're saying that, that just says a lot for the medical term. Now we have to relook at the medical terms of things now. You see, this man blows a whistle when people follow. Is that a hypnotic whistle he's blowing? You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to look at now. He's the Pied Piper. Follow me, follow me.
Oh, Lord, there we go again with the mute.
You keep bursting out with these songs. You said you was a singer. I feel like you just want to sing a song to us. So leave us with a song because you keep
Robert,
bursting
though.
out.
That's my memories of Robert. He walks and he sings. If he got a girl confused about something, if he mad, if he think he got to get to this girl, and she's giving him some stress, or he might be not having the grip he want, he ain't gonna argue with you. Robert ain't like, he gonna sit down on this piano and he gonna, girl, I've been drowning myself in my own tears. That's her song. Now she going back. She got him again. He got her again. That's
so now
Robert.
she back hooked because he done sung her song.
My mama and them calling and I'm okay, mom, I'm cool. Daddy got me. And they living in a good life. But only my objection with Robert is that you should put him in school. You should have them be, man, you should have all your women, you should have them in college. They should be your lawyers, your doctors, and all that. If you got them like that. And he can have it like that. But you don't know what to do with them. So now he's got a bunch of angry young girls. When a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it.
I can't take these outbursts of songs now.
That's Robert. That's Robert, man.
Okay, so wrapping up, and I do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, even though it got a little bit hostile, a little bit. I'm like, oh,
it's the end of it, y'all.
Right now.
I stay myself. I'm emotional.
Okay,
yeah,
so and then now, Tyan, definitely, Tyan. I have lots of recordings. I even have some recordings of me, what I have with him myself. Let me finish playing what he my interview with him, because I'm going back and forth with different interviews. Okay, guys, hold on. Now we're gonna continue with what I was playing for me with him, my conversation with him.
I didn't have no power with him. I didn't have nothing with him. He came to me and said, man, I need you to be a guru. What the fuck is a guru? Excuse me.
What is a
guru?
guru?
Somebody to do anything you say.
Guru. That's a guru means somebody is an expert at something. That's what a guru means.
Well, you need a guru, an expert at getting them out of any kind of trouble you got in. I wouldn't make you don't get in trouble with me. You don't do things like that. Robert didn't have to Robert didn't have to hold his balls. And that's what I used to tell him. You know, when you be on stage and you run across the stage and you hold his private. I said, Robert, you don't got to do that. You're too good of a singer, man. You ain't got to do nothing but sing. You see? But Robert got girls screaming at him and he never had that before. He got lost. And then that power.
But okay, okay. This I was reading something. This is not even in your book. It was saying how Barry Hankerson owned his rights to his music.
Probably I don't know what kind of deal they made with Aaliyah, but they made a deal that was worth about $3 million. You know, they made a deal that was worth about $3 million plus Aaliyah got an album deal, and Robert probably gave him the rights to her album. And that's probably it. He probably just got all the rights to her music, that whole album. I don't know the details to it, but I know who got all the paperwork. And they'll give it to me. I just haven't asked for it.
So you're not gonna help him. You're not gonna help him?
No.
Robert.
That paper wouldn't help Robert. That paperwork would hurt Robert. I wouldn't give that to nobody. And I wouldn't tell who got it. I would help Robert only by saying what I'm saying to you. Robert is not criminal, he's mental. And I'm not a doctor to tell you exactly what's wrong. But
so why didn't y'all take him to the doctor and get him diagnosed like these kids that I have now? The parents got him diagnosed.
I'm going to take you to the doctor. I'm going to take you to the doctor because I think something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You going? Hell no, you ain't going. You ain't going when you're in control. You ain't doing nothing. You're going to do what you want to do. And if I keep on talking like that, you're going to make me get away from you. That's just how that goes. And I got away from him because I didn't like Robert no more.
Oh, you didn't like him no more.
I didn't like him anymore. It wasn't the same Robert.
Do you
I didn't like Robert. My sister messed with Robert, and she should not have.
And you knew that was going on. Why didn't you do something about that?
Wow. Y'all just want to find fault in me.
I don't want to find fault. I'm going by your book. Listen, hey.
I do not talk to my sister. If you'd have read my book, you would understand the relationship that me and my sister have.
Yeah, I know. Y'all was going back and forth with each other, and your brother asked you why you don't talk to your sister.
Back and forth because she was dishonorable to her husband and to us, to me as her brother. It wasn't about Robert. It was about you being disloyal to me. I'm your brother. I'm your older brother. And I say, get away from my project. If you're going to help me, help me. If you're not, get away from me.
Did you hear him? He said, get away from my project. Robert was his project? Oh, my God. He said, get away from my project. Hey, Bird. He said, get away from my project. This is where the jealousy stemmed from, y'all. He was jealous of his sister's relationship with Robert. He was jealous at, whoa.
But no, she wanted to give him some and think that was going to do it. Broke up their marriage. You know? No, I'm not at fault with Robert. I ain't got no guilt no more with Robert. Robert did that to himself, but Robert is not. It's just not criminal because everybody was involved.
So why is he the only one going down and everybody else is not?
Earl McDavid going down.
What about who?
Earl McDavid and June Brown.
Who's June Brown?
June was the man behind me.
I've never heard.
June was the man behind the scene always, but never was noticed.
I've never heard of him.
Right. June never was heard of because he was always out of it. But always, Kenneth Robert had him in the ear.
Mm-hmm.
And June did whatever Robert wanted. And that's when I couldn't control him no more. Because he had people behind my back. I hired security just to work with me for Robert. Hey man, just let me know where he's at and what he's doing, man. Don't let these guys pass these notes out to these little girls, to these young girls. There's too many girls at the show. They're giving me a headache. stuff like that. Go ahead, Chef. Go.
To me is okay. If somebody you know is an alcoholic, right? Why would you put him in a liquor store?
I mean, what are you saying? Robert's a sex fiend, so he got a concert and he's the star. What I'm gonna do?
Keep him away. As soon as the concert's over, get them all off the stage and take them to the wherever he's supposed to go and just go.
Don't you know I did that? Did you know what he did?
What?
He stayed in the dressing room saying, man, I ain't ready to go. I cannot make him get on the bus. That's why he gave me the frustration. Every show, man, it was frustrating. It's like, I can't do this no more, man. This is too much for me. I mean, we ain't got no communication no more. You're doing whatever you want to do. He's deceiving everybody that's in front of him. He's laughing, smiling in people's faces, and at the same time, he's telling me, man, I don't want to be bothered with them, man. Get rid of them. See? But he's laughing and smiling in everybody's face, but he's making me do the dirty work in respect to keeping people away. But after shows, he backstage. He don't want to leave. It ain't no little girls, but they're young girls. You see? And I really ain't, only thing I'm looking at is that, man, it's time to go. I got the band. I got the stage. I got the production crew. I got the dancers. I got everybody that I got to get to the next city. And I got 4 buses that I run. Robert was somebody that just was, I worked for. I didn't hang with him, but I knew that he was wild and I couldn't get control by myself. And I needed the record company, I needed Barry, and I needed Daryl to help me. And none of them would. None of them. So Robert grew into the ugly person that.
Yeah, but then when everybody was making money, when he was making them all money, they kept, huh?
I didn't make no money.
Not you. I'm talking about all the record deal people and all. Somebody was making money. So I said somebody was making money. You said you
and Barry and John Records and everybody Robert gave it to, all the girls Robert gave it to was selling. They all made money. All Robert money went to girls selling cases. Robert get some coochie and go give him $1 million. And they was ugly. The girls was ugly.
You said it was ugly?
I mean, they little girls. I just couldn't, I don't understand it, man. And I let it go. I'm tired of talking about Robert. It gets stressful with me.
You brought it up because you talk about the book.
I like to talk about him because I like somebody to help him. I don't want to see
how can I help him? I don't even know nothing about him.
No, you can't help him. You can't help him. The only person who can help him is God.
Amen. Amen.
God can do many things, but he uses us to do those things.
Yeah, so, maybe it's not by accident. Didn't you do an interview? Or weren't you in the Lifetime thing? I haven't watched the Lifetime.
And they took my name and made me look like a bad person. Instead of, I didn't talk to Lifetime for 2 days. And it was all about our beginning, just like the book. That's what brought them to me, the book. And they were all excited about things. And then I looked at their program and they took just a few words off of me and made them what they wanted.
But your book.
I didn't force no documents.
So who forged them?
Huh?
Who forged them then?
Nobody forced them. Leah's signature is on there with Robert.
So Aaliyah signed it and Robert signed it? It's not nobody else? So then why they said it's forged?
Because they didn't. It was not forged. It was they lied. They had ID. If I'd have forged that, then FBI had me too.
Yeah, but they gave false ID.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but you the one took her, according to your book.
I did take him, so.
Wait,
I ain't put Robert in jail, honey. I didn't do that. After I did that, it was still up to Aaliyah's parents. You know what I did after I did that?
Mm-hmm.
I took that marriage license and I sent it to Barry Ankerson. And then next thing you know, it was on the press.
Did you hear that? He took the marriage license and sent it to Barry, and then the next minute it was all over the press. Did you hear that, y'all? Did y'all hear what he just said? Okay. And y'all don't know if the setup is real. Okay. Okay.
What do you mean?
That's what I do.
What do you mean by on the press? I don't understand that language.
After that, it was all over the news. You know, it was all over the news that he had married Aaliyah.
So why did
Well,
he?
I felt like since you married Aaliyah, you should have been honorable enough to be real with her. I felt like he should have been real.
But didn't? Okay.
Even though she was young,
Okay.
he still should have been honorable and stuck by that woman.
But no. Your book, you said that Daryl McDavid told y'all that for him to marry Aaliyah, but he didn't want to marry Aaliyah, did he?
Well, it's not that he wanted. If he wanted to marry her, he would have waited. You see, but he.
But where's the baby? Where's the baby? Where's the baby?
Aaliyah wasn't pregnant.
So then why the book say she was pregnant?
The book don't say she was pregnant.
Yes, it did. You said because yesterday you said that Aaliyah called. Okay, I'm gonna go back to your page. Huh?
The book says this. Robert said she thinks she's pregnant.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
I didn't say she's pregnant. It says she thinks she's pregnant.
Okay.
Just like I said in the book, Robert, that don't mean she's pregnant because she missed her period.
So
did y'all hear this? Okay. So y'all heard what he said, right? He gave the marriage certificate to Barry, and then the next minute it was on the press. So do you remember Jim Derogatis claims that okay, and also remember Demetrius also had the tapes too. And the tape was sent off to Jim Derogatis, the news press. So y'all, do you hear the setup? Do you see what's going on? Guys, it's all in these interviews. You have to listen to what this guy is saying. He kept saying we. And the we, it's him, Barry Hankerson, and Daryl McDavid. Daryl McDavid was the one behind the money, and all the extra stuff like the press, the connection and stuff was Barry Hankerson. And he did the legwork. Demetrius did the legwork. Guys, this is crazy.
He married her
thinking she was pregnant, and that if she married, then she can't prosecute him.
But then you said that idea came from Daryl McDavid, Daryl, right. Whatever his name.
Right.
So
right, Daryl, whoever his attorneys was.
Okay, now did you hear what he just said too? The idea of marrying Aaliyah came from who? Daryl McDavid. He took them. Oh my God. Okay. All right, here we go.
Magolius. That was Robert's attorney.
Oh.
All of them was a part of that.
Did you hear? All of them was a part of that. All of them was a part of that. But Robert is the one behind bars. Robert's the one in jail. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, help. Father.
All of them was a part of that settlement, and all of them got paid.
Did you get paid?
No, I did not.
But
I didn't get a nickel.
But you did an ID.
I did not get paid for that.
Oh.
I wasn't doing it. I didn't think they would go through with this, honey. I really didn't. I thought that what I was doing was delaying everything. And, and if I wouldn't have did it, I would have been out of it. If you don't do this, man, then you can go about your business, man. We'll handle this. And I didn't want to be out of the mix like that. I didn't want to be not knowing what's going on with Robert.
But did you?
And he got through it. He got through it, and he got away with it. And after that, I didn't like him no more.
What?
Everything he wanted to do was wrong. Everything after that, you couldn't tell Robert nothing. He was God. So after that, it was over.
But remember, I was telling you about the industry. I heard so many things negative about that type of whole industry.
Money. It's not just the industry. It's power. The industry is just a limelight. Everybody with money has power issues. know, you can be a big drug dealer and have all this money and running the streets. You don't have the same kind of power. It's just what kind of morals do you have?
Yeah. Did you ever buy your house?
Nope.
No.
I was homeless for about 6 years. I was homeless when I got out of prison.
Wow.
You know, I've been homeless for a long time. I've been going through so much stuff that it's just like crazy. And
So
I got through it.
So are you okay now?
I mean, I'm making it. I got a place over my head. I pay my rent, but shit, if I would lose my job, I'd be in trouble all over again.
But you're doing your own.
Savings.
You're doing your own business now, right? You're doing your own business. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I always did my own. I can't get a job because of my background, because of my record. I couldn't work in the industry because then nobody want to hire me with Robert Kelly's name.
Huh?
You know, right? I couldn't get. I had Brandy. I had the Brat. I had
He had Brandy, the Brat, all of these artists as he claimed he had, y'all. This dude, man. This dude. Woo, Jesus help.
Again, Brandy, the Brat. I had Kirk Franklin. I had other artists that wanted me to work with them, but when Robert did that, they all cut ties.
What about Barry? Because Barry was working with you at one point. So what happened to that job?
Barry called me to New York when Aaliyah died. That was over. You know.
So do you still?
Okay, y'all. What year did Aaliyah die? 2001, right? Was it 2001 she died? So he was in contact with Barry in 2001, huh? Okay. He's still in contact with Barry. Barry's in contact with a lot of people. Y'all, did y'all see Barry surfaced out of the woodwork behind the scene now? Yeah. So Barry's resurfaced now. He got an artist that kind of remind you of Aaliyah. Guys, keep your eyes open.
Barry wanted to be depression. Barry lost his record, gave up the record company.
Barry gave up the record company, but how is Barry signing up this new young lady? Something's not matching here. Okay.
So you don't talk to him no more?
Hmm?
You don't talk to him no more?
No, I haven't talked to Barry since Aaliyah passed.
Wow, that's a long time.
I talked to him in 2010 when I got out of prison with my book. I took my book.
He just said he hadn't talked to him since Aaliyah died. Then he said I talked to him in 2010 when he got out of prison. You took him his book. So which one is it, dude? Stop lying. Stop.
Told him I had wrote it, and I let him know that Aaliyah was in it.
Did you tell him he was in it?
Yeah.
They didn't come after you?
I mean, they came to talk to me, but I ain't no punk. You don't send nobody over here to do nothing to me. But I mean, I gave him respect to let him read it first. He said, man, I wish you wouldn't put Aaliyah in it, but you know, that's your story to tell. And it's my autobiography. That's why Robert can't sue me. You know? And that's why Robert didn't give me no attention with my book like those other people get, because it would have brought me money. My book was out 10 years ago. Why they didn't investigate Robert then? It was saying the same things that he's doing.
But a lot of those people books copied off of your book.
Right. You can see that, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Because I was reading.
We'll see. And that's why once I get a piece of money, I'm going to take it to a lawyer and I'm going to sue all of them.
Yeah, because they'll I'm telling you, everything, like some of the stuff that you were saying, and they wasn't even part of it. And they put you in, not you, but your story stuff in there.
Yeah, everybody patterned this book after mine. And that's illegal. That's infringement.
So
have money to get a lawyer for that.
So this whole tape thing. So how many tapes was it actually? Because on your thing, you said it was a couple of tapes.
Actually, no. When Robert lost that bag of tapes, he lost a bag of tapes. And ain't but one person took them bag of tapes.
Lisa.
And that was General. No.
I thought it was Lisa.
Lisa probably got it. Who was Lisa?
Lisa Van Allen. That's who said she in docu-series. She said that she went and got the tape, and because Rob was to carry the tape of the book bag with him all the time, and she went in because she knew she had a tape with him in there, and she went and got the tape.
Right, she went and took her tape. Robert been taping for years.
But how do you?
The first bag that he lost a bag that had the girl pissing on her. He lost a bunch of tapes, and those tapes are the ones that surfacing. And I have an idea where they came from, but I can't say.
But this is crazy.
It is. I've been out of it since '94, and that's why I ain't in no trouble.
There you go.
I've been trying to help Robert ever since I've been with him.
Yeah, but the stuff that they talk about is from back in 94, 95, 93.
No, they're talking about after that. They're talking about after Aaliyah.
No.
This is after Aaliyah.
Because Tia's in there. That girl you just said, Hawkinson. She's part of that indictment.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
How you know?
Because I was reading it.
Where? They have Tiffany name in it?
They have the initial.
She ain't gonna say nothing. She can't be forced to say nothing.
It's in there. If you go on you type up his name, and you put the 2004, because they had it all over Twitter, and I put the what's the name? You know, I googled his name versus United States versus Robert Kelly, R. Kelly, and then it gives you some initials of different people, because it's come a total of I think it's 13 people, because they just talked about it on the news the other day. Yesterday, I think.
They ain't got my name on it.
No, I didn't see your name on it at all.
Right. They ain't gonna call me, because I'm gonna tell them that Robert got issues, and they don't want to hear that. They do not want to hear that Robert's sick. They don't want to hear that part.
Yeah, but they said something about that what's her name? Fox? No, Fox. The prosecutor. It says she's trying to get a position. That's why they came after her. I mean, that's why they came after him.
I don't feel like that dude Avalani should have anything to say. You know, that I don't feel like.
So how did he get the tape? How did he get the tape?
Somebody sent it to him. Somebody sent it.
And you don't think all of this is don't you think all of this is a setup?
You know, all of it is a setup because it's all old. And they done gathered all this evidence up to bring him down for money. Robert then told people, fuck y'all, excuse my language, and wasn't paying them nothing there.
But he ain't got no money.
Girls are all mad. Robert got money, don't y'all believe that?
They said he's not worth nothing.
Robert is buying new attorneys. Robert is flying his girlfriends to New York to court. People don't do that if they ain't got no money, huh? You see, Robert made, I'm gonna just tell you, all from 1990 to when I was up there, 95. Robert, all his albums went triple platinum. And by that time, he had 6 albums.
Oh.
Every one of them went triple platinum. And they all his, in his words. He wrote them. That means all that money he got.
But I thought Sony owns his stuff.
Now, and then after that, Barry and Aaliyah broke up. So that album, he got albums that he wrote for other people that he got paid for. Michael Jackson. He could never be broke. Then he settled with Aaliyah for $3 million. That wasn't nothing. Robert already had $100 million. So where's that? He ain't made that many settlements. Now, after Aaliyah and after that 2008 court case, what happened? Robert's other albums were triple platinum. All the way up to now. And where's all that money? You see, hey, Robert ain't that stupid. Trust me. He got money. And he ain't going to let you know he got it because you ain't going to see it. But Robert got money. That Daryl McDavid got his boy money, and they going to have to come up. Robert got money. You just can't tell me that he ain't broke, because he can't be broke. Robert owns the rights to all his music. He never gave up his publishing.
I thought they said he didn't have his rights to his master.
Robert got his masters. He didn't give it. He gave Barry all that he wrote for Barry. He gave him all the Aaliyah stuff. That's all he is. Age ain't nothing but a number. That whole album he gave it to Barry. He might have made a deal with them with I Believe I Can Fly. You know, whatever Barry worked with him on, he might have made a deal with that, but he didn't give it all up. Robert's always fought for his publishing because he ain't know no better. He just knew the publishing was his money, and he kept that. So Robert is not broke. I'm not worried about that part. Because You can't take care of people while you're locked up in jail and be broke. Now, he ain't got nobody he can trust. That's where he's hurting at. So he don't mess with his brothers or nothing. He ain't got nobody. But them little young, silly girls that don't know nothing.
You know them? Do you know them?
No, I don't know them. I just know they babies.
Oh.
I know his wife, and she's, no good.
I was watching the well, I didn't watch the show. I saw a commercial with Bow Wow talking about her, and he was saying
that.
Did
but
you?
I'm on my way out of here now. I got to go back up to this airport.
Oh, you picking up people?
Yeah, I pick them up all night.
Oh my
I
God!
live like 10 minutes from the airport, so I got to go pick somebody up and take them to Santa Ana. And then I got another one at 10:30, and then I'll be good.
So what time do you get off?
I mean, I get off in between.
So
I do this one at 8. I do this one at 6:30. And then after that's an hour, then I come back home.
So
10:30, do another one.
So you pick up rich people? You pick up rich people?
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I pick up. Everybody seem like they. I pick up white folks, and they all seem like they rich.
No, I know they're not all rich because when I used to work for SBA,
they're all rich, but they all appear to be. The homes that I go to is like, wow.
Yeah, and they be in a lot of debt. No, they be in a lot of debt. Trust me. I work for the government, huh? When I worked for FEMA, and I had to do loans for them, I was shipped out to California, and I was out there for 6 months, and they were just getting those loans left and right. They knew how to get that money.
Yeah. How you get money?
I said they knew how to get that money by lying and saying they don't make this and they don't make that, and they make provision for them.
Oh yeah. So let me get back another time because I got to get out of here now.
All right, have a good one. Okay.
I hope you finish enjoying the book.
I am going to finish it off. Right. Okay. All right, y'all. That was the rest of that interview. I still got more stuff, guys, but you know me and my little 2-hour time frame. So I will be back after I take a break and get some things together, and I'll give you a second half of more interviews of this crook. He's part of the setup, and this is going to be part 1 and part 2. And give me about a couple of hours, and I'll be back and to bring you some more stuff. So the setup is real, y'all. Setup is real. R. Kelly was definitely set up. And the 3 main culprit behind the setup. The 3 main culprit behind the setup is Demetrius Smith. He's the main one. Then it was Barry Hankerson, and then you have the money mastermind one is Daryl McDavid. He's the one who is behind the money part. And then you add on all these other little crooks behind it, The females were just used as ploys. So, yes, Tyon, I'm taking a break. Don't you think I need a break? Don't you think I need a break? Y'all want me to sit on here all day long and do this and not get a break? I need a break. I need a break. Thank you, Juicy Love. But I'm gonna come back, and I have I have like hours of interview with Demetrius myself. So I'll see you guys. Give me about 2 hours. Let me take lunch. Take a bathroom break, all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be back, and we can continue. So we're gonna continue showing these little breakdowns of the setup. Don't forget, Mondays, anybody that's in the New York area, the plane is going to fly with the banner saying R. Kelly was set up. And then share these videos, guys. Share this video. Share it everywhere. Let folks know what's happening, because trial is coming up. Robert is trending. They're trending about him being moved from MCC Chicago to New York. So this is our time to get the news out about him. Okay. Contact your news outlet. Let them know about the plane that's flying over New York, Manhattan, Brooklyn area. So I need you guys to be my mouthpiece. We are his voice. We need to get the word out, y'all. We cannot let this man be railroaded the way he's being railroaded. We all have to do it together. We all have a part to play in this. Everybody cannot have a channel. Everybody cannot go to marches, but everybody could do something, whether it's a financial donation, whether it's just you talking to your friends and family, posting on your social media, whatever it is, because we cannot allow this man to be railroaded, okay? This man is innocent. He's innocent. The law says he's innocent, okay? He has not been proven guilty. He is not guilty. He's innocent. And also, there are people who place jackets on this man. It's very hard. So this time, he needs to really fight for it, fight his charges. And prayerfully, once all of this is over, he will never have to deal with this mess again. He needs his name back. And you see, it's unbelievable that the government is still not prepared for this trial. They're still talking about evidence has to be extracted from devices. If you had all of these evidence and proof that this man is guilty, why is it that you're still pulling stuff and trying to put other people into doing other charges and all? There's so much behind this, guys. So we're here. We are his voices. Okay, we are his voices, and we got to keep pushing, keep getting the word out. Give them this information. Give them this information. Share whatever information that you have out there. My channel is not the only channel, trust me, because I can't reach everybody. There's some people have different type of personalities and character that could draw other people in. God gave me a bunch of people, and then God gave DJ a bunch of people, gave Dubowski, gave Prima Donna, gave Spit and Fire, Black CEO, Senator. Everybody has their own type of person. Gave Just Jazz. Everybody has a role. Nobody is bigger than anybody. Every single one of us has a role. Okay? Every one of us. So do not think your position is any little than the other person's position. Because in the body, there's hands, fingers, toes, and all. The feet is important. Even though it's the lowest part of the body, it's important because without the feet, you can't walk. You can't go anywhere. So even the people that thinking that their position is not that big, it's important. It's important. Okay? So I need you guys to push. I need you guys. There's a person I need you guys to go after, contact, because she did reach out to me, and I need you guys to go to her YouTube channel, to their YouTube channel. Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you who it is. Hold on. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to tell you where to go to this person's YouTube channel. And because she responded to me because she had Gerald Griggs on her platform. And hold on a second. Hold on. She responded to me. And I need you guys to go and put your comments in their YouTube. Hang on it. Where is it? Just remember, every single one of you guys have a role. Okay. This is the the name of this YouTube. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's just not popping up. Okay. All right. The name of this is the True Crime Daily. True Crime Daily. That is the YouTube channel I need you all to go on. True, TRUE, Crime Daily, DAILY. And they're talking about an ex-football NFL player killed 6 people. That one, this is the one I need you to go out to right here. This is where Greg, the Greer guy is. I need you to go down to that YouTube channel, and I'm gonna copy it and put it into my link here, and I need y'all to go into that YouTube
and go in there and put your comment and just basically tell them about the setup. Even if you want to put my link in there, you can, so you guys could just give them a true awareness of what's happening to Robert Sylvester Kelly, okay? Because we cannot let Robert be railroad. Okay, here's the link. I put the link in there for you guys to go in, okay? Click that link, go in there, put your comments in there. Tell them about the setup. Tell them what you know, okay? All right, go share that. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, they have 4.45 million followers. So, guys, go over there and bombard them, okay? I thank you guys. Love you, and I'll see you in a few hours because I'm going to come back with some more recordings. Bye. Love you.